Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about crypto and economics and lots of other fun stuff. This video happens to be an other fun stuff video, if you're catching my drift here. But before we dive on in, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button, leave a comment in the comment section as well, all for the algorithm. That would be greatly appreciated. But otherwise, I want to share with you just some, this is going to get a little bit personal, a lot personal. This is kind of autobiographical, and it's me basically reflecting on my life over the last 10 plus years and the biggest mistakes that I made, hoping as a self-employed man, I have been self-employed for the majority of my adult life, that I can help prevent you from making the same mistakes that I've made over and over again in my life. Okay. So what is the mistake? Here's where you get wrecked. It's not when you lose a lot of money. It's when you have a sudden surge of income. You make a lot of money and then you adjust your life as if it's some kind of a new norm. This is the experience of being self-employed. And for any of my self-employed brothers and sisters out there, I'm sure I can get a hearty amen from that. It is an extreme roller coaster where sometimes you're on paper a multimillionaire and other times you're afraid that you're going to get your house foreclosed on, with very little in between, until hopefully you eventually reach some kind of equilibrium and you get your big breakout and you're good to go. But self-employment's rough. There's lots of benefits to it. But anyway, okay. We have hopefully a run coming. Actually, no, let me say this. We will always have euphoria and despair, always. When it comes to the Federal Reserve, ever since the Federal Reserve has been created, but even more aggressively since 1971, since 2008, since 2020, it is wild swings of euphoria and despair. And so when euphoria comes, again, it will come, no matter what it looks like. Whenever euphoria comes, learn from me, learn from the mistakes that I have made. All right, I want to keep this at 10 minutes. So number one, thinking back, one of my first jobs out of college was as a mortgage banker, and there were plenty of times. Euphoria, you want to talk about euphoria and despair. Okay. So mortgage banker, my first month I was getting on board, but I knew what kind of potential earnings I could make. And after I was fully in, my first paycheck, my first full month paycheck was $26,000. And for a man in his 20s at that time, or what, I don't remember how old I was, that was life-changing. That was potentially life-changing money. So $26,000, I started planning based off of a paycheck of $26,000. And of course, I lived in California at the time. 47% of it was taxed. So I actually got a check for $13,000. But I expected this to be some kind of a new norm, to where I was making $20,000 a month or something like that. And so I adjusted my life accordingly and I got wrecked. Okay, so what did I do? I bought some vending machines in different locations in LA County. And let me tell you, it was an absolute disaster. A month after buying two of the vending machines that I bought, I had bought 5. I got a call from the business saying that they wanted me to remove the vending machines that I had just bought that were already there. So I don't know if the person selling it to me scammed me or something like that, but that was instantly $3,500 down the hole. And then the other machines in a different location didn't make nearly as much as was advertised. Shocking. I did not do my due diligence and I got wrecked. And then come to find, the market conditions changed. Rates went up, things like that prevented me from being able to make $20,000 a month. And I really struggled after that. Let's fast forward a couple years. I started a Facebook page. So this is the wild west of Facebook. Okay, Facebook pages. This was a time when organic reach for Facebook pages was wild, and I'm going to throw some numbers out at you. But I could post at one point, one of these pages got up to like 2 million followers, and I could post one link and make like to some random clickbait site and make $800 off of the clicks. So I was making really, really good money every month. And then there was a point that I started paying for Facebook advertising, $200 a month to get traffic to click on these links. And I created my own website, and I was making something like $4,000 to $5,000 a day for an extremely short period of time. And once again, I adjusted my life thinking that this was some kind of a new norm. But eventually, over time, I got squeezed by the increased costs of Facebook advertising and the decreased revenues that I was getting from Google AdSense. And so I had a nice pile of money. I started a business that required much more work, which I prefer because men should work. Okay. I started a grocery distribution business. And that went very well. And it went well. It kept on getting better. And the margins were pretty fat. You know, I got up to a point where we were making $200,000 a month in the grocery distribution. And so what are the margins on that? 40%. That's about $80,000 profit. And it was going very well. I was hiring more and more employees. I was at one point up to 25 employees. I made the mistake of hiring people too fast, moving into a warehouse, paying a big lease on a warehouse, and adjusting my life, assuming that this was some kind of a new normal. And overnight, it was literally overnight, my business collapsed. And then I had a nice big wad of money. I did everything I could to try to save it. And people were quitting. People were getting laid off until one point I was just like, I'm done. And to the point, I still have that grocery distribution business, but it's just me. And I work whenever I want to work. And right now I'm working on crypto and not as much on the grocery distribution. It's more of a seasonal job right now. But that, I can tell you, was a miserable 3-year stretch of trying to unwind that business. And the mistake that I made was thinking that we were in some kind of a new normal. Okay, fast forward to 2021. Crypto. Instead of being in business, I'm in crypto now, and I start my crypto channel. I'm not making any. I'm making like, $100 a month. It's more of a labor of love for me. But also at the same time, I'm making lots of money during full-blown meme coin season in 2021. And I'm remembering, okay? I'm getting a little smarter now. I'm remembering the mistakes that I made when I saw all of this sudden success. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to protect myself this time. I'm going to do everything I can to preserve this wealth. Now, how good of a job did I do? I did better than the other times, but still, there was some kind of an assumption that there was a new norm happening. And of course, that wasn't the case. And of course, November of 2021, we were all expecting Bitcoin to go much higher than it went, and it ended. And I lost more than half of my net worth over a period of a few months there, and then it was over. And so again, I had a decent wad of cash, and then my daughter got sick. And I had to put all of that decent wad of cash into a large down payment on a house. And so here is this isn't even financial advice. This is life advice. During euphoria and despair, the biggest mistakes that you can make during euphoria, at least, are that you treat this as your new normal. Some of you, during times of euphoria, will make millions of dollars. And some of you, after making millions of dollars, will lose millions of dollars. Very large influencer I talked to from 2021 made millions of dollars, and I wanted to meet with him, and I wanted to tell him this exact story. And I got to talk to him recently about 2021. He made millions, he lost millions, and I told him I wanted to talk to him, and he told me the truth. He said, I wouldn't have listened to you. So I'm begging you now, whatever these next few months or years look like, do not treat sudden success as a new normal. It can destroy you. Okay. So that is all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week. I'll most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.